Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Juana. I am a managing partner at NNC Services. We are a B2B marketing consulting company headquartered in Romania, but with a global presence. And I am your host for today's adventure, what we call B2B Academy's webinar on AI tools for marketing and sales, learning by doing. Talking about short titles, right? So kudos to you for being here. You are all busy folks, business owners, marketers, and every minute counts. So that's why we're here to help you stay ahead in this AI race. You know, our digital world is constantly changing. And here is the exciting part we've all seen for the past few months. AI, it's the new rocket fuel for marketing and sales. And today, we're not just talking about AI. I'm sure many of you have read a lot or participated into other webinars. Today, we're actually getting our hands dirty, or actually my colleagues got their hands dirty, and they're gonna share with you what they discovered. So we've got some top-notch speakers for you today. My colleagues have been in the trenches. They've seen the good, the bad, the ugly of AI in action, and they're ready to share their experience with you. So this hype around AI tools in marketing right now is really like, you know, this moment you see in the meme here when Tom Hanks finally managed to make fire in Castaway. So we're standing here, everybody wildly excited about these new tools we've discovered, ready to shout, look what I have created, look what I am able to do right now. I have made fire. Only that our fire is AI, and instead of keeping us warm, actually it's heating up our marketing game to levels we never thought possible. So very quickly going through the agenda today, folks, we're going to explore the best AI tools for content production and proofreading, because who doesn't love ready-made, but also quality content, which is error-free. Then we'll jump into AI tools for sales activities and outreach. So making our job easier, one automated task at a time. And then, have you heard about ChatSpot and Content Assistant from HubSpot? We'll delve into how this dynamic duo can amplify your HubSpot. But also there are going to be some very interesting and useful things for non-HubSpot users as well, because not many know that those particular tools are available for everyone. And let's see who the speakers for today are. I talked a bit about myself, but I'm going to ask my colleagues to, you know, in just 30 seconds, tell a bit about themselves and what they are going to share with us today. Adina, how are you?
Hello, everyone. I'm glad to have you all here. My name is Adina Lăcătușu, and I'm a senior copywriter at NNC Services. And what I did lately was to try different AI content tools. And I finally could handpick some, so I will be very glad to share them with you and also share some tips about how to use them and how they can help with your work. So yeah, that would be basically it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Adina. Daniel.
Hey, everyone. I'm Daniel. I'll spell my last name as well, Ciovanu. Maybe somebody will remember it. I've been with NNC for around 4 years now. I'm a client success manager, a strong IT background, and a passion for sales. So these two intertwined have brought me here. I've been, as Dina was mentioning as well, I've also been selecting a few tools that have made my life easier. And I'm very eager to present them to you.
Thank you, Daniel. And Monica.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to see you again in here. My name is Monica. I'm not going to spell my last name. I'm the head of marketing automation at NNC Services. And as my colleagues say, I'm the HubSpot guru in the team. So I'm very happy to present you today the new tools that HubSpot adopted, which are AI powered. And they are definitely making my life at least easier. So I'm hoping you will also leverage them into your daily activities.
Thank you so much, Monica, and thank you all for sharing all this valuable information with the audience today. Before I let you all take the stage, because here at NNC, we're really fans of, figures and data and study, I'd like to share just a few numbers with you. We're going to explore a bit the hottest trends in AI for marketing and sales. Now, let's be clear, it's really early in the process, as you all may know. So there are no long-term studies covering the impact of AI in marketing and sales or in businesses whatsoever. However, the few that are really mind-blowing. So let's take a moment to soak into some interesting figures. For instance, companies using AI in marketing have seen an ROI increase up to 30%. That's huge. And the potential of AI doesn't stop there. Up to 20% of sales functions could be automated with these technologies. How does this resonate with our customers? 62% would prefer to talk to a customer service bot rather than wait for a human response. And let's also see how AI revolutionizes content creation, which is actually the other slide. I think the things got a bit mixed. We see, for instance, that in terms of producing a blog post, a blog content, the efficiency really comes down from hours to minutes. So the average, for instance, for producing a blog post is 4 hours. With AI tools and proofreading, you can get this up to minutes. Also, there are some studies suggesting that it helps with SEO improvement, and AI content can help rank for an average of 196 keywords. And in terms of editing, there are really many studies saying that the editing speed is really drastically improved by up to 85%. Okay, so now I'm really sure that everybody is curious to see it in action. So I'm gonna pass the mic to my colleague Adina, who will share with you specifically how she uses AI tools for content production and proofreading.
Yeah, thank you, Juana. Let me take over the screen as well, because I'm also gonna share some tips, and you will have to see it. Okay. So is everyone seeing my screen? Is it all right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna present you today some tools that I find very important and that help me a lot in my work. But first, I'm gonna start with some reasons why I'm actually using these tools and how they improved my work. So main point is that they made my work more efficient, meaning that I could deliver content faster, and it was quality and precise content. They also help me a lot when I'm stuck in a rut, and they give me creative ideas and fresh ideas to work with. And the main advantage actually is that they make the research process and data gathering easier. So that saves me a lot of time. Of course, I always go check the information because we're going to talk about it later. You have to be careful with that because sometimes these tools don't really give accurate information. So you always have to check it. Okay, now let's dive into it, I guess. Okay, I'm going to start with ChatGPT. I'm sure there's no need for introductions here because you've all used it before, probably, and you know how it goes. Just wanted to quickly mention some main differences between the 3.5 version and the 4th version, because the 4th version is the newest one, and there's been a lot of buzz around it. And yeah, what really brings into the game? Well, it's designed to understand content better and give more nuanced and relevant information to your questions. It also has a larger knowledge base and access to more recent data. So you can access data from 2023 now, which wasn't possible before. And also has access to the internet, which is a great thing, finally. It also brings two new options, which are the browsing and plugging option. And let me show you here how it looks like. Okay. So you can use the browse option from here. You can just ask your question, and it's gonna have access to the ChatGPT is gonna have access to the internet, and gonna provide you with the right answers probably, and also with the sources, which is great because you can just click on them and you go directly to the main source of information. There's also the plugin option. So for example, you can use the plugin Ask Your PDF and just upload your PDF into ChatGPT and ask any questions that you have based on the text from the PDF. Yeah, that's basically it about the 4th version. Now, I still recommend that you use the 3.5 version for everyday tasks because it's the fastest one. And with the 4th version, you also have a limit of 25 messages every 3 hours. And yeah, it's enough, I'm assuming, but it's still a limit that you don't have a 3.5. So yeah. Okay. Now I'm gonna share some tips that I usually use when I work with ChatGPT. And the first one is challenge the conventional narrative. I usually ask ChatGPT for examples that contradict the dominant narrative or generate content that challenges readers' assumptions. And here on the slide, you can see there's an example prompt topic, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works into ChatGPT. So yeah, just exactly basically copy paste or try to reproduce the prompt for what you need. And well, if it's working. And it's just gonna give you the answer that you're looking for and more like out of the box, let's say, topics. Okay, it's loading. Okay, yeah. So I put the question, the information here, and this is what I got, for example. Okay, moving on. Another practice that I use is the Ultra Brainstormer. So whenever, I don't know, I get to basic information for ChatGPT, or I feel that it's similar to what I have, I just try to look for new angles. And this is exactly what you need to ask ChatGPT, ask it to come up with new angles or approaches to cover a familiar topic. So for example, how to double your productivity. For the topic above, brainstorm new angles or approaches. And it's gonna give you the angle that you're looking for. And if you're not happy, just ask it one more time until it gives you exactly the information you're looking for. Now with ChatGPT, you can also simulate an expert. So for example, pretend you are a talented marketing specialist with a wealth of experience in the tech industry. Come up with types of open-ended questions that I should ask to create compelling content. And ChatGPT is going to speak exactly like a professional, like a marketing specialist, and it's going to give you exactly what you need, hopefully. To accelerate your rate of learning, and this is I use quite a lot because sometimes I have to write about topics that are not in my area of expertise or they are quite complex. And this practice helps me a lot in this way because you can just ask ChatGPT to explain, for example, large language models in simple terms, or explain it to me like I'm a beginner. And it's just gonna put there the information in the most simple way possible and understandable for everyone, really. It's super helpful. You can also consult Steve Jobs on Elon Musk through ChatGPT. For example, you can ask, I will provide you with an argument or opinion of mine. I want you to criticize it as if you were Steve Jobs. And it's actually pretty funny how it goes. but I'll leave the surprises for yourself. You have to try it yourself, I guess. You can also make ChatGPT write like you. If you want to write a text that sounds exactly like your style and like yourself, you insert that text into ChatGPT and tell it to analyze the writing style and write about building an effective marketing strategy, for example, as the above author would write. Now, for the fourth version, there are some new options that you can explore. And for example, you can ask ChatGPT for summary of news. So what were the main points from the last United Nations climate change report released in 2023? You can ask ChatGPT to summarize it with a short paragraph and list, and you can have all the information there that you need. You can also detect a trend to ChatGPT, so you don't need to do all the research. You can ask chat like this: provide a short analysis of the latest e-commerce trends and consumer behavior patterns in the first quarter of 2023. And yeah, it's very useful and it saves you a lot of time, I'm assuming. You can also improve your productivity through ChatGPT. So the prompt for that would sound like, from recent online studies, what are the top 5 tips to work better from home? Make a summary table, and you have everything in there. And the last tip I would give is that you can write an updated essay, for example. Write an essay on consumer behavior, citing your sources with links. With the fourth version, you get the sources automatically, and you can just click on them. But let's say that you run out of the 25 messages and you need to use the default version. And then you can just ask ChatGPT to give you the sources, because it's not gonna give them to you if you don't use the browsing version. Okay, I think that was kind of it for ChatGPT. I'm gonna move to a different tool for content creation that I use. It's Cohesive. I'm not gonna say that it replaces ChatGPT, definitely not, but it complements it very well. And I think these two together can work very well, honestly. Because with Cohesive, it's nice that you have a lot of templates you can choose from. So for example, you need a LinkedIn post, you just use this template, or an Instagram caption, or you want to generate a story, and you do it here with Cohesive, and it's very easy. And you can also, whenever you need to write an article, you can also put the target audience that you're looking for, and also the tone of voice that you wanted to use. And you can make the information longer, summarize it, change the tone, or even more options like translate it to different kinds of languages, summarize it, rephrase it. And what it's really nice, it's also that it gives visual guidelines. So for example, I asked here to write a LinkedIn post about cybersecurity best practices. And it gave me a hint about the visual that I should use, which is an IT security specialist working on a laptop. Well, sometimes it gives more detailed visual guidelines, to be fair. And it also has the option to create an image for this text. But for now, it's not really working that well. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend it because it gives very basic kind of visuals. And yeah, probably in the future it's gonna work better, but for now I wouldn't advise you to necessarily use it. What's great about Cohesive is that it kind of feels like it's the text that it writes is from a human-like perspective, and it feels that it's flowing very well. And it doesn't have the same kind of words that ChatGPT uses, or the structure that it uses, because I'm assuming you've seen that with ChatGPT, sometimes it gives you kind of similar type of content. And in this case, you can just use Cohesive and get a different angle on it. So yeah, I left here some examples that you can use with Cohesive as well. And you're all gonna receive the presentation at the end, so you can just play around with these prompts as well. Now, this was kind of it for the recent text content. I'm also gonna talk about the video creation. And for this, I use Pictory AI, because everyone loves videos lately, and it's also nice to have a tool for that, of course, because sometimes editing a video takes quite some time. And for that, we have Pictory, and I'm just going to show you a bit how it looks like and what you can do with it. So, for example, if you have a script for your video, you can just upload the script in here, and the app creates, and the tool creates the video for you, which is great. Also, if you have an article on your website, for example, and you would like a video for that specific article, you can just paste the URL here, and it's gonna allow you to select the visuals that you want to, it's gonna provide you with the captions, with audios, with voiceovers if you want that. You can also upload your own voiceover, for example, if you would like that. And it's quite fast, actually. It saves you a lot of time. You can also edit videos, just add subtitles or cut them or add your logo, and it's very user-friendly, very much friendly for the users. It goes very fast. Also, it allows you to upload your own visuals. For example, if you have visuals that you really like and you want to make a video out of them, then you can use this option. Well, that's kind of it with Pictory. Long story short, basically. Now to have a short recap about everything that we've discussed, I put up a step-by-step process that I usually take when I create content. So, for example, I have to write an article. I brainstorm and research on ChatGPT. I define the objective and target audience, and then I use chat for idea generation and research. And after I put all my ideas together and put up kind of a draft version, I use Cohesive for text enhancement. So it would make it more like human-like and flowing. And after I do that as well, and I'm done with the final touches, I also create a promotional video, for example, using Pictory and the option for article to video. I think that was kind of it from my side. We also have some Q&A section here, and my colleagues included a question that we got, and that would be, well, I'd love some help in learning how to prompt AI tools to help with content creation. I think I kind of provided an answer to that question already. You will get the slides as I already mentioned, and you can play around with the prompts yourself. If you are looking for more, just search for all kinds of websites and groups. There are plenty of them that use advice on how to write, for example, in ChatGPT. There are plenty of options, and I think we can also send you over the email some that we use. Yeah, that was it from my side.
Oh, thank you, Adina. And I think we also have a question, some questions in the chat window. We've already addressed some. Jude, yes, we will send both the recording and the presentation to everybody here. And Brian says, I see lots of speed advantages. Any evidence of quality advantages? Adina, what would be your take on that?
Well, quality advantages would be that these tools give you most of the times precise type of content, and they can give you angles that maybe you didn't have the chance to research or think of it before. But again, they are not made to give you the final material, version. So to say, so version. So it's always going to be your input is always going to be needed, and you also have to make the final touches, but it's the way it's supposed to be, right? Yeah. Because they are there to help you.
And if I can add on that, it's actually, there is no one size fits all. Obviously, ChatGPT is the one that most people use. There are some specific tools that could work better for some particular people or businesses. But what I can say is that the importance regarding quality from what I've seen is that the fact that this tool has been trained on such a big amount of data and text that a human cannot access, that gives you a bit of an advantage. However, like Adina said, it really comes down to using them, knowing how to use them, knowing how to prompt them, and testing and refining, and then putting a bit of human into it, and that will give you the particular quality. And you know, it's always a comparison things as well. So you have to test it to see in time how it works for you in particular. We have some other things here. Is there any sales automation that you are using? Actually, that is Daniel's topic, who is just coming up next. So I'm gonna let him answer that. Okay. Which brings us to Daniel, right?
Yes, indeed.
So you can take over and go directly to answer Richard's question.
Exactly. Richard, we use quite a few automations, and one of the tools I'm going to talk about today is Apollo. Apollo can automate both your messaging sequence, and also with the power of AI can really hyper personalize your outreach messages, taking in consideration your prospects, I don't know, characteristics or things that it can find out about them while browsing their profiles. So without further ado, let me share my screen as well. Okay. Okay. Everybody can see my screen. Okay. So today I'm going to talk about, like I told you, Apollo, then copy.ai, and then ChatGPT. In Apollo, we are going to both automate our outreach, like I was saying, and also write messages automatically and based on the profiles that we're targeting. In copy.ai, we're going to use it for prospecting and not for content generating purposes like it is normally used. And in ChatGPT, we are going to find out about a person's disc personality and write a message according to it. And but guess what? I was just testing it before, and we're going to use a third-party app and not ChatGPT, because as this whole AI environment is constantly evolving, right now ChatGPT does not have the browsing function anymore for the LinkedIn profiles. So we're going to use a third-party app to figure out what is that person's disc personality, and then insert it into ChatGPT and make it write an email for us. All right. So let me know if you can see my screen. If you can see if I'm in Apollo. Yeah. Share. Okay. Excellent. So I'm going to log in. Okay. I'll go to search. So just a brief intro. Apollo is, first of all, a great way of finding out publicly available contact details. So if you're doing an outreach and you want to find out about somebody's LinkedIn profile or even email address, you can use Apollo. And if this is publicly and clearly legally available, you will find that contact. And also you'll have quite a few credits even in the free version. You have a lot of filters. I mostly enjoy juggling with buying intent, so I can click over here and select maybe digital marketing services and see if somebody is signaling this possibility of acquiring our services that we provide at NNC Services, and a lot of other filters. Right now, I'm just gonna go on industry. I'm gonna put information technology and services. I'm just gonna select a random profile from here. So as you can see, I even have the mesh from HubSpot, and I can just click on one of these profiles, and I have this option called sequence. So sequence is exactly like what Richard was asking before, a sales automation. So over here in the sequence, I can automatically send a couple of messages to my prospects, and they can be hyper personalized. They can be they can refer the services that I'm trying to pitch, or I can invite them to an intro meeting, or I can even follow up after I have sent, I don't know, maybe a proposal, and without having to, I don't know, all the time setting up tasks in my CRM or in my calendar to not forget to follow up with that prospect. So I'm just gonna add this contact to a new sequence. As you can see, I can clone a pre-existing one, I can build a new one from scratch, or I can select a pre-built one that Apollo offers. Over here, I have quite a few options for getting in touch with this person and having this sequence pre-built for me, and I can click on fundraise. So I have recently found out that a number of companies have raised some funds, and I want to get in touch with them and see if they might need our help. So this is the fundraise sequence. I will click on generate. Clearly, I can play with a few things over here. And as you can see, now I have manual email and automatic email and so on and so on. And I can add more steps as I go along the way. I can just click on one of these emails, and over here you'll have these tokens, and on the left side over here everything can be personalized, and I can modify over here and just feed him with the names that I want, the names of the customers that I want to make reference to, with the company products or services. And on the right side, I have the AI assistant. The AI assistant, what it basically does, it will generate an email message on my behalf, and it can do that in the form of an outreach, in the form of a follow-up, or in the form of a last pitch. Over here, I have pre-populated these fields with the things we do at NNC services, the pain points that we address, the value proposition, and the call to action. Clearly, I want to schedule a meeting with that prospect. So once I've got this written, I can just click on generate. And you can see it's going to be working. Like I told you, it's clearly generating something in regards to my prospects. So tailored meetings. Okay, so I have a few options, and I can either click like or dislike, or I can click regenerate, refresh as many times as I want until I get the proper result. As you can see, I noticed that keeping up with the ever-changing marketing trends, tendency, let's schedule a meeting. We're struggling to keep up with the ever-changing marketing trends and strategies. These are all blocks of tests that the AI assistant has delivered for me based on what I've described in the setting up of the automation. And I can clearly go to personalize it, save time, and just change these tokens in such a way that it's even more custom and even more reflects the reality of my outreach. This would be Apollo. I can save this or send a test email to me. I can save this, and I can clearly, after saving it, I can scale this up to as many contacts as I want to, because at the end of the day, this is what you want to do. You want to scale this up because you would clearly be able to write an email one by one. Let me do a new share.
Before you move away from Apollo, Daniel, we have a question in the chat window from Aaron. He's asking about the difference between the sequences in Apollo and in HubSpot, and we can ask Monica to get in here as well. He has used both, but in your opinion, which is better? And now, Daniel, we say Apollo, and Monica will say HubSpot. So
exactly that. With Apollo, you just opt in. It's a SaaS product. You opt in for the license, and you just get the sequences as well. In HubSpot, you have other add-ons that you need to opt in for.
I'm actually going to be the mediator here, Aaron, and just say that it depends on what you want to use them. I think Apollo is more into outbound. So what Daniel does, outbound marketing, sending messages, trying to connect and prospect with potential customers, while HubSpot is more a part of their inbound marketing strategy and enrolling prospects into sequences based on, the stage you are in. They interact with your content and your website. So if you are more into sales and outreach, Apollo. If you're more into inbound, HubSpot. And Olivia says, are all these tools and features free, or do you need to pay a subscription to use them? That ChatGPT included. Right. Okay. Thank you for clarifying, Olivia. So Adina has showcased ChatGPT Plus, which is the paid version, but she also mentioned that you can still use the 3.5, which is the free one for, like daily tasks, some very easy to approach things. But if you are a professional into marketing and sales, you should definitely get the paid versions. And the others, I think those are mostly with what you get into the paid versions, right? Or Adina, Daniel, can you clarify?
Same story over here. What I have showcased over here is available in the free version. What I have.
Okay, it's in the free.
However, you won't have so many credits and things like that. So you have the functionalities, but you can only maybe research 10 contacts, something like that in the free version of Apollo.
Yeah, and in the case for ChatGPT, most of the prompts I showed can be used with the free version as well. So that's good.
Okay, guys, thank you for clarifying. Now, going back to Daniel, we got some other questions related to sales from people who registered. So, Daniel, can you please address those a little?
Yes, for sure. Let me 1 second over here.
So this is a more specific question. So maybe, Daniel, can you clarify a little on how to apply all these tools you showcased for a specific case study? The question before was the one related to ERP software.
1 second. So I think it's okay. There's quite a few things you can do when trying to drum up some leads for these companies using a specific ERP software, and one of them is AI-powered social media advertising. Many social media platforms offer now AI-powered advertising tools. So these tools can target ads to users based on a variety of factors, such as their interests, behavior, and demographic information. For instance, if a business is trying to target users of a specific ERP software, they could use these tools to display ads to people who have shown interest in this software or related topics. Predictive analytics. This is something that you can also do when trying to generate some new leads for this ERP using companies. So AI can be used to analyze a wide range of data to predict which businesses are likely to be interested in a specific ERP software. This could include data on a business's size, industry, current software use, and more. These predictions can be used to identify high quality leads, clearly. So AI chatbots can also be deployed on your website or social media channels that can engage visitors based on their options and based on their behavior on the website, and could ask, for example, a chatbot could ask your visitors about their current ERP software and their satisfaction with it. This information could be used to identify potential leads clearly. Email marketing automation. AI can help you personalize email marketing campaigns based on your recipient's behavior and preferences. So improving engagement and conversion rates. And also lead scoring. Clearly, AI can help prioritize leads by analyzing a variety of data points to determine the likelihood of a lead being converted to a customer.
Okay, and what about the question we have on the screen? How are the tools for sales different from the ones for content production? You both talked a bit about ChatGPT, but what can you mention in terms of some key differences, Daniel?
So they can differ from the tools for generating leads and generating content. There may be some overlap in terms of general AI capabilities. The specific tools functionalities can vary based on the intended use case. So for the sales activities and outreach, we might have CRM tools that can assist in managing customer data, tracking interactions, I don't know, providing insights, or the sales chatbots that I was mentioning before, predictive analytics. AI tools can leverage this predictive analytics that can analyze historical sales data and can give you some insights in order to better target your prospect or your actual customers. And on the content and production and proofreading, you have these natural language processing tools, AI-based NLP tools that can analyze and understand text to assist with content generation. And you have again, the content generation tools, the systems that can generate content based on these given prompts or inputs that we provide, such as, I don't know, articles, blogs, white papers, things like that. You have then you have the plagiarism checkers that can compare submitted content against a vast database of already generated content or already original content that is publicly available on the internet. So overall, while both sales and content related AI tools utilize similar underlying technologies, the specific features and functionalities are tailored to the distinct needs of each domain. So it's debatable.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so thank you very much, Daniel. If there are any other questions related to sales, you can put them into the chat window. We'll address them more in the end, but also Daniel would put in here his contact details so you can reach out to him directly if you need a more hands-on approach. And let's go further to Monica, our marketing automation superstar. She will share with us some interesting things about ChatSpot and content assistant from HubSpot.
Thank you, Juana, for the introduction. Let me quickly share my screen and start presenting. Okay, guys, so HubSpot is a marketing automation platform with an inbound methodology in its backend, let's say. Across the years, it's been developed a lot. When I started using HubSpot, it was kind of oldish, but now I'm super excited to see the new improved ones. And of course, I believe that the ChatSpot and the content assistant were the natural development for the company and the tool itself. However, what I want to point out at the beginning is that AI is not new to HubSpot. We've been using for years AI-powered features in HubSpot without even knowing. So for example, the data enrichment, when you're adding companies to your database, to your CRM, they are automatically being filled in with different information that are available publicly. Data cleansing, the data application available in the system. Again, there's an AI in the backend that analyzes the contact and provide information about, okay, this contact seems very much similar to this one. Are they the one and the same person? And you can do something to keep your database clean. Lead scoring, conversation intelligence, then the adaptive testing and A/B testing and everything in terms of testing has been developed a lot in the past 1 or 2 years. When I started doing A/B testing in HubSpot, I had to split the list. I had to do a lot of manual things, but now things are done very quickly. I just select the rules and the system does the work for me. SEO suggestions, let's not forget about that. You know that in HubSpot, you have this SEO area with a lot of notifications, opportunities to improve your content, also a lot of suggestions in terms of technical elements. So these are not done, out of the blue. An AI analyzes your website, your content, and gives you these types of suggestions. And very recently, the workflow cleanup suggestions. This is a function that was introduced, and it's giving you ideas and recommendations on how to keep your workflows as clean as possible and error-free. I've tested it quite a bit in the past 2 weeks, and I feel like it's exactly what we needed for the workflows area. I remember that when we were analyzing workflows and processes for the clients, this was the biggest and most complex task for us. But now I feel like we're saving a lot of time with it. What's new? And these 2 items were implemented actually this year. They are not fully launched. They are only in alpha or beta. And I'm mentioning here about the content assistant and the chat spot. By their name, you can kind of understand that the content assistant is a tool that allows you to build content directly in HubSpot, and the chat spot is basically the CRM bot that can be your friend, answers to all of your questions related to your portal. So let's see a bit about each of them. The content assistant is definitely, and I feel like it's definitely a game changer for HubSpot and is a huge differentiator from other marketing automation tools. And you can do a lot with it. I mean, for marketing, you can build the entire blog post, you can build emails, and I will show you in a few minutes how easy it is for you to generate ideas, to create outlines, and then the entire basically content for the article, make changes, change the tone of voice and everything. And you see here that everything, the content is the foundation in the end for any inbound strategy. So if you have that in the company, and if you're using HubSpot, please try the content assistant and start creating as much content as possible so you can integrate it into your campaigns. It's definitely more easier right now to do that, to build nurture flows, to build articles that are relevant to specific personas. And in the end, the result will get better because you're providing what they need. Before, maybe you didn't have time to build all this content, but now you have exactly, what was missing before in order to do that. For sales as well, this tool can be used to draft sales emails, messages for the sequences, follow-ups, cold emails, everything in terms of outreach and communication with your prospects or opportunities. And of course, this is helping you keep on track with what you have in the pipeline at the moment, and to spend more time on the aspects that really bring results or bring value to you, not creating a message or building a content. Let the AI tool do that for you, and you can focus on those elements that can bring you the highest value. And of course, let's not forget about the customer service part. That's also extremely important when you're offering services, or if you have a support team, definitely allow them at least to test this functionality and use these tools to be more efficient in providing support to your customers. In the end, it's all about creating a great experience for the customers, and time is definitely one of the factors that we take into account when we analyze how an experience was for us. I'm analyzing anytime, how much time I expected for a response from a support team member. And if the response was fast, I'm definitely more likely to give a great review and keep using that platform or service. And now I'd like to ask you to join me in some tests. I have here some prompts on the screen that we are going to use in 3 aspects. You see that there are some differences between blog articles, emails, and landing pages, but we'll explore them together. In the blog area, you have this opportunity to build something from scratch. So, for example, if I just type that small bar, I can see the options available, and I can tell him, okay, generate ideas. I'm going to include the prompt that I had on the screen to see what sources, what examples, what topics they will give me. Okay, so I have a few ideas. 5, I feel like it's a good start. Okay, revolutionizing and so on. I think that we can keep this one. And now we have the topic. Let's delete the other ones. And I want to build now the outline, basically the structure of the article, so I can, understand a bit what the article will be about, make sure that it's aligned with what I had in mind, maybe, or what I thought when I saw the title. So I'm going to click again on that bar, and I will tell him to generate outline. I'm going to give him a prompt like this. It's a very simple one, and as you see, I've introduced here the title of the article that also AI suggested. So let's generate the content. Okay, I'm going to insert everything, and let's see what we have. I was really happy when I first tested the content assistant in the blog area, that they're also indicating which type of heading to use, which is definitely a nice touch in terms of SEO, right? So you need to have different headings, you need to have different a specific type of structure in the article, so it ranks well in Google. Now I see the structure. Let's say that everything is fine with me in terms of that, and I want to start actually building the content. What I need to do now is to take these suggestions and expand the information. And I'm going to do that with the sections that I feel like are relevant to my article. I don't want it, of course, I don't want to make it too long, of course, but as you see, the process is definitely easier. Instead of staying, searching, I can definitely use this tool to build some content. Of course, as a best practice, I would encourage you to cross-check the information. If you have any, statistics or fine details in the content, make sure that you're also checking them in Google, or cross-check information with another 2 sources at least, and then you're good to go. And that would be, the first step. But let's say that, I want to make still some changes. I want to change the tone of voice, and I have here 5 potential tone voices that I can choose from. I find this one really nice, and I'm using it a lot. But let's say that we are going with the friendly option, and we are trying to rephrase the information as friendly as possible. It's quite simple to do that. Of course, you still can make changes and intervene and make sure that everything is okay. But in the end, it's definitely a time saver. And now creating content is not a challenge anymore. With these types of tools, you can do magic, in my perspective. I'm going to move into an email now. I have a draft here, so tomorrow probably I'm going to send you a follow-up email with this recording. So I need to build an email, right? But I like inspiration. Maybe I'm tired this night, and I don't know what to write to you. So I just included this line, and now I'm going to say to the content assistant to expand the message and say something nice for you. Let's see what it gives me. Okay. I have a good start. For sure, it's more than I had before, 10 words in the email. And now I can come in and maybe make it a bit more personal if I want, even if I can also apply the friendly format, which is usually more personal. And then I'm good to go. I don't have to stay, for minutes or even hours to think about the greatest way to build a message so you find it interesting. Now I can have some inspiration from the content assistant as well. Of course, I'm going to include my personal touch in it, but again, this as well, it's a time saver. And imagine that when you need to do follow-ups for event attendees or people that you met at a specific conference. This is great. You are going to include only some details about the conference when you met with them, and the system is going to build you a very nice message. And if you also have some custom properties in the system to indicate maybe a topic you covered with them in the conversation, it's even better. And as you see here, one last thing I wanted to mention, compared to the blog area, the trick with the bar is not working here. So the only way to activate the content assistant here is just by selecting and pressing that sign in here, this icon. And this scenario is similar to the landing pages as well. In here, I also have I built a test page, so we can do some testing, but the process is pretty much the same. What you need to do is to open the content sections, and you'll be able to use the content assistant directly in the page. So you don't have to build it somewhere else or anything like that. It's very simple. It's again, time saver. If you have to build a landing page fast for a campaign, or you had an idea last night, okay, let's launch this, and you know the concepts for the campaign, you know approximately what will be the sections for that landing page, use the tool to expand the content and make it make sense on the page, at least in terms of content, and then play around a bit with the design and you're good to go. You don't need a developer necessarily right now. If you already have some templates in the system, then the work is half done. Okay, so I open something. As you saw, I okay, apply. I applied some expansions to this section. I applied the expand version, the expand functionality, and here we are. We have some content. Again, it's not the you might feel initially that it's not the best one, but it's definitely better in some cases than what you can build with all the rush and all the other things you need to do. Same options as you saw on the emails and on the blog post about the rewriting, rephrasing, changing of tone of voice are available here as well. So please jump in if you're a HubSpot user and experiment with these functionalities, because they're definitely here to stay and to make our days better. Do we have any questions in the chat, Juana?
Not at the moment, and we already passed the hour, so we only have, just a couple of minutes, Monica, to wrap up and perhaps leave some more time for the questions we have in the end. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Juana, for the note. Let's quickly go to the chat spot as well. If you know nothing about it, it's a chat where you can include prompts similar to ChatGPT, but the difference is that it is connected to your portal, so it can give you contextualized information and very specific information about what you have in your database, in your portal, results information, and so on. So the results, of course, can be taken from the internet, but also from your portal. And it's nice that you can, for example, tell him to build a message for a specific contact based on their previous behaviors or based on what they previously did on the website. I've included here a few prompts that you can use, but I will also go into the tool to show you around. The first version of the chatbot was a bit simpler, and but it was quickly updated to the newest version, which is definitely nice. You have a lot of predefined prompts in here. As you can see, they are organized in different categories. So if you are a marketing person, just filter them down. If you're a salesperson, the same, but take a look at the other items as well, because they are definitely nice. The blog content, the content creation part is also available here for sure. You can add the same prompts as I did with the chatbot, with the content assistant in here in chatbot, and be able to generate a blog post. And actually you have directly from here the possibility to post and make live that article. But let's quickly, test a few options, because as mentioned, it's better when we do it live. I had some prompts on the slide, so I'm going to use them. These are just some test prompts, but if you have, for example, specific contact persons with specific details, things that you want to mention, maybe some keywords you want to point out in the message, you can add them here, and the bot will definitely give the response accordingly. So I have some type of message. Build one more follow-up for Mary though. Okay, so it should give me yeah, or not. And it's nice because sometimes, by the way, it gives you these types of answers that make you understand that sometimes we're saying this type of messages to our team members and they don't understand, and we don't understand why, because it was very clear for us, but it wasn't. Let's try something else. For example, I find it very cool in ChatSpot to find new companies. You probably know about the target accounts area, but this one is giving you some nice ideas as well. Again, this is just a test prompt, but if you have a specific company profile you are targeting, it can give you the companies available in a specific region with specific characteristics and so on. For example, I researched yesterday with ChatSpot SaaS companies in the United States that were in the second round of funding. So, and ChatSpot gave me some great results. Of course, I went into Google and did some more research about them, but it's definitely a time saver for me. Instead of searching them one by one, I had here a list of companies that I very quickly can add to the system, right? So I can add to HubSpot and that's it. I am now able to see it directly in my portal. Easy as that. Yeah, so everything for in terms of you know, answering questions about information in the system, finding new details on the internet based on a specific profile you give, researching companies, researching contacts. These are all available in ChatSpot. I find it really nice also in the reporting area. You can generate definitely some simple reports, you know, one object, two objects reports. But instead of going and spending 5 minutes in the system, you can just give it the prompt and in 30 seconds you have the report. So yeah, I invite you as well, if you don't have already the access to the alpha version, you see it here, request access and start exploring, because it's definitely here to stay and to make our work easier as much as possible.
Thank you so much, Monica. And if you can just jump to the last question, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why. It's the question number 7 we got from people who registered. And in the meantime, if anybody else in the audience has a question, please use the chat window. So Monica, I think question number 7 was around challenges, and this is something that we all think about, and there is a lot of debate in the digital space around what are some of the difficulties. And I would first have my take on it from a marketing specialist perspective. So first of all, I think it's really related to change management. A lot of things are changing in the industry. So roles are changing. For instance, if we are using AI tools to do all this and that, how do the roles of the people in the team change? So I think it's really important to have an effective communication, you know, about the benefits of AI and involving employees in the process of change and help overcome resistance, because there is a bit of resistance out there. And another one, which I think is really important, and we are preparing a solution for that, is education. Because like my colleague said, these tools are only as effective as you know how to use them. So, you know, businesses should invest in educating and training their staff around AI tools. And my colleague Loredana is actually going to share with you a survey in the chat window, and you can fill out the poll, because there is a question there related to what would you like to learn, if anything, around these AI tools. But there's another important thing is, you know, the elephant in the room. A lot of people are talking about the legal aspects and the ethical aspects of this. And since we are already over the hour, but we still have somebody from the legal side here with us, Olivia. Maybe Olivia, you can also share your thoughts about what are some of the challenges, legal wise and ethical wise you see?
Yeah, thank you, Juana. And I just want to say so much value in the webinar. I took a lot of notes for myself for my lead generation strategy. Yeah, I'm an attorney at law. I'm a qualified attorney at law, and I've been working for 16 years with various corporations. And I think what's most relevant is the work I've done with technology companies and understanding a little bit what are the challenges in this space when it comes to using software tools and AI and so on. The good news is not very different from other challenges we have in the online space and in using technology tools. But I think it's actually twofold. Number one is what is the source of all the data that these artificial intelligence tools are using? And I think in respect to this, Adina touched a little bit already upon it in respect to the accuracy of this data, but also when the tools are scrapping the internet for such data, is this done in respecting copyright and privacy and other underlying rights that exist there, either of private individuals or creators and so on and so forth. But like I said, this is not uncommon. Every time we use a software or a technological tool, we always need to make sure that the underlying software, there is a license there for the use, right? However, what makes it more challenging for the artificial intelligence tools is the amount of data that is being used and processed and scrapped and so on and so forth. And the second challenge is the input, like what we feed the artificial tool and making sure that what we feed the artificial tool is not infringing other people's rights, again, copyright, privacy, and so on and so forth, and that we are allowed to use that input in order to create a specific output that we want from the tool. It's not a clear-cut answer, I know. It's like you said, it's just my thoughts on the topic. But I think it's also very interesting to follow a little bit on the case law. So since we don't have legislation at the moment, it's in the works, all the regulations and so on. It's very interesting to follow a couple of cases that are happening now. One is a class action lawsuit in the United States, which is called GitHub Copilot and OpenAI litigation. And this relates to rights of software developers that were used by GitHub. And so there is a copyright infringement class action that is being brought there. And it's very interesting to see how this is going to evolve, because it's going to shape the regulatory environment, not just in the USA, but also in Europe. And the second one relates to images, to Getty Images. It's a litigation that has been initiated in the UK. And it's also very interesting to see how Stability AI that has been using images from Getty Images and the underlying artists, photographers' rights is going to be ruled. Like I said, no one has a clear answer, right? Even the judges are for the first time faced with these cases. And my advice is just, do your own due diligence. It's really important also, like you said, Juana, to train the people to understand what is allowed and what is not allowed, to do with the information and data that we're using. And until we have some clear framework, just use it responsibly.
Yeah, very, very useful and very valuable, Olivia. Thank you so much. And just a quick add-on from me here. It's a rule of thumb in, online, especially related to cybersecurity. Whenever in doubt, just assume that whatever you copy paste and put online in any cloud-based solution will be fragile and accessible. So there are so many cases of information leaking out, personal information, confidential information. So just use it wisely. Don't copy paste very sensitive information out there.
Yeah, and I would add it's really important to use also a marketing agency like yourselves, of professionals, that do the checks and, the doing their job. I think is really, really important.
Yeah. Always go to the consultants. Okay, and Monica, I think we had a couple of more questions related to what's happening with the features coming out. One was dedicated to you around the workflows, right?
Yeah, let's see. Okay, so yeah, we received some questions related to HubSpot. One specifically about list management, segmentations, and workflows. Workflows, as mentioned a few minutes ago, already has some AI-powered functionalities. The cleanup option, the error checks, these are done with AI, of course. As for the list management and segmentation, at the moment we don't have any, we don't have a product roadmap for the HubSpot updates, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them launched in a couple of months. They already have in plan a lot of AI developments. We saw, and it was published already, that they doubled the size of their AI team. So everything is moving very fast in terms of development at HubSpot. So pay attention. You might see them very, very soon. I think there was another one, which is a bit more general. It's about the introduction of AI features in other, and the adoption of it by different vendors, and basically being adopted broadly. I do see it as a common functionality moving forward. I feel like we definitely need to have some functions that streamline the creation process, that make things easier. Okay, it's fine. I can understand that we are going to pay for these tools, which is normal if you want to leverage the best functionalities. But I also need to be able to use it fast and be intuitive. And I think AI functionalities will do that in most of the cases. And with the dashboard and reports, I'm already seeing that in HubSpot. So again, I wouldn't be surprised to see that in other tools.
All right. Thank you, Monica, for your take on this. And now we open the chat window, and also who would like to come off mute or come on video and ask some more questions. We are staying here after hours. They say you have to stay 5 seconds until the introverts start talking. So if they're not starting, I guess we don't have any other questions, but you have our email addresses here. You can also search to connect with us on LinkedIn, and we are more than happy to get in touch with you and help you with anything you have as challenges related to AI tools. In the meantime, follow the follow-up emails. We have some very special promotions for you, some discounts. We have prepared some new AI packages, and all the people who registered and attended this webinar have some very special fees. So get in touch with us if you are interested in that. Other than that, thank you everybody for being here. Thank you, my dear colleagues, for sharing your experience with AI tools, and stay close because we have some new events coming up soon. Thank you guys. See you.